And we come to part 4 of what Pilate tries to release Jesus, John 19, 1 through 15. Pilate brought Jesus out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe and said, "Look, here's the man." Pilate presented Jesus to the crowd, one beaten, mocked, bloody, sweat, spit all over his body. Perhaps Pilate thought, they'd feel sorry for him. And behold, the man is the idea of the perfect man, the ideal of all humanity. I bring him out to you to show that I find him guilty of no crime. The chief priests and the temple officials shouted, "Crucify, crucify." Pitied it wasn't even going to work. You crucify him then. I find him guilty of no crime. According to our law, he must die because he claims to be the Son of God. That made Pilate even more afraid. He took Jesus back inside the palace and said, "Where do you come from?" Jesus didn't respond. John's account with the religious leaders showed their true charge against Jesus. They wanted him dead not because he claimed to be the King of the Jews, but because he claimed to be God, the Son of God. Are you refusing to speak to me? Don't you know I have the power to free you or to crucify you? You would have no power over me if it had not been given to you from above. Wow. Even evil powers are subjected under God. Pilate couldn't believe Jesus wouldn't speak. Jesus answered, explaining the true nature of power to Pilate. In thinking of the Roman governor, Rome had the power. In reality, God held the power. Therefore, those who delivered me to you are guilty of a greater sin. Jesus didn't say that Pilate was without sin. He simply said the religious leaders were greater sin because they had delivered him. It's the same type of reference given to Judas. Pilate continued trying to release Jesus, but the Jews shouted, "You'll be an enemy of Caesar if you let him go. If anyone claims to be a king, opposes Caesar." It is now about 6 a.m. on the day of preparation for Passover. Pilate brought Jesus out, sat on the judge's seat, known as the stone pavement. That's Gabbatha in Hebrew. And we see the panic in his face. But he was forced to give in to their demands. The point here, Jesus is the Lamb of God. "Here's your king," he says. "Take him away. Crucify him," then, they shouted. "Should I crucify your king? We have no king but Caesar," the chief priest said.